start with an opening statement from Coach, followed by questions for Coach and student athletes.
I thought it was an incredible atmosphere, especially in the fifth set. And, great work by Georgia Tech and Kelley. Not just being prepared, but just being tough. And, they are very capable of playing at a high level in bursts. And, they really pushed us. And I think that's, we have an expression that you don't need to lose to learn. And so hopefully we learn a lot from tonight as we watch video. And I just know that this kind of game will be good for us as we go into the NCAA tournament. And I'm incredibly proud of our team for winning the ACC in arguably the toughest year in league history. So very proud of the team. Well done.
Torrey, how big of a sigh did you and the team take when that final set was done?
We had the loudest sigh. I mean, like Fish said, Georgia Tech played a good game, and we're happy that we pulled it off. And I mean, there's this other team that we're probably going to see like in a tournament, and it's preparing us for it. So.
Dan, you guys were up 16-10 in that second set, and Georgia Tech went on, I think, a 9-2 run. Why didn't you call a timeout during that set? I think you had 2 available, so I was curious why you didn't take a timeout.
Well, I'll have to go back and watch it. It was, I thought if there was a lapse or a disappointing part, that probably was it. I think we lacked a little killer instinct, and so, I thought we worked through it initially okay. Like we got back to, I think something like 20-17. I'd have to look, but I think we worked through it okay. We still had a pretty big, like we were the first to 20, and so, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should have.
What makes Berlino and 010 just some of the tougher pin hitters in the ACC, and they obviously did pretty well tonight?
They're both just very comfortable getting set after set after set, going against a double block, and they're sneaky. I thought we did not do a good job blocking on. We did a good job blocking on the whole, but there were some really tight sets that they found ways to just get kills out of, which I guess probably speaks to like the maturity of their game. They don't just hit low seam when it's tight.
You had a career high in kills today, and you started the match with 9 kills on your first 9 swings. What was working to start out? And then you had 4 kills in the final set. What happened then?
I think that me and Rachel just made it apparent that like our connection just keeps getting better throughout the season, and we just talked about like the more we use our middles, the more it like draws blockers in, and then our pins are wide open. So I think that just me and Rachel being on the same page, and me playing for her and she playing for me, playing for the rest of the team.
You guys were very balanced in that you had a lot of players with a lot of digs, and you had 3 players with a lot of kills, and not many people far behind. I don't think we've seen a game where digs and kills were balanced like that. I know it went to 5, but
Yeah.
What do you like about that?
Well, I think it probably shows that, we were just, individually, we were probably a little in and out of playing our best. And I just think someone like Valeria tonight really was not having, her best match. And then she just was huge when we needed her in the 5th set. And that's something that's a message we're always talking about is, we don't want to be a bad day kind of player or team that we have bad moments, but then we can get hot at any time. And I thought Valeria really, she had some huge moments for us in that 5th set.
Coach, you had a game before Thanksgiving, and then you had Thanksgiving, and then you have the game today. I mean, throughout the past week, you could say, for this is what you would say, a time to, be thankful, especially with Thanksgiving and all that. What can you describe, maybe some of the things that your team did or what you told your team throughout just the 2 off days that you had?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question, because it is a time of year to be grateful, but that we try to be a grateful team the whole year, and so, as a competitor and an athlete, you're always like on to the next, and so I do think this is one of those moments where hopefully, the team realizes what a special year it's been, and so I certainly have really loved coaching this team, and I'm grateful for a lot of things, that we were able to be home for Thanksgiving, that we were able to catch our flight out. That was almost didn't happen to get back here, and so we really had a nice Thanksgiving, and it wasn't easy because it was a quick turnaround from last weekend. So I think it showed a lot of toughness on our part.
Torrey, before the 5th set, you guys let out a very guttural scream.
You heard.
And I know that you guys have, gone to the bathroom to scream before, but was it kind of one of those moments where you just needed to get out the excess energy?
I mean, yeah, and I think it was just like a flip the switch, swap and ramp is something that we always talk about. And I mean, going into the 5th set, that's what it really matters. So we had a good yell and stepped on the court ready to go.
Bree, what does it mean for this team to not only beat a really tough team in Louisville back on the road on Wednesday, but to come back here, play a really experienced team in Georgia Tech and get that win, especially with the NCAA tournament coming up next week?
I think it just shows that we have grit and that our team is a type of team that doesn't let down without a fight. Like, you're asking, like, once you hear a scream like that from us, it's probably telling us, like, we're going to turn it on real quick. Like, just be disciplined, and I think just winning both of these huge games back to back is just going to prepare us for huge games in the tournament.
Torrey, does it feel good to play a 5-setter right before, like, a long stretch where every single game feels? Or maybe not the other side.
Like, I think we all said that it's preparing us for the tournament. Like, Georgia Tech's a good team, and probably a team we may see in the tournament, and I think that it just prepares us and feels good to come out on top of that.
Yeah, we may not, like, want to play a 5-setter, but it's definitely preparing our bodies for hard.
Yeah.
That's what we do. So.
Bree and Torrey, this game was full of, you probably don't even know because you guys were playing it, but just highlight reel kind of plays. I mean, Torrey had the insane coverage and then the kill immediately after saves. Does that make a game like this more exciting when you have those crazy moments that get the crowd going?
100%. And then especially when our crowd does get going, it's like, oh wow, this is gonna be a fun game. But yeah, I think plays like that just drive us to just keep going.
And we strive for defensive intensity. That's
Yes.
something that we always talk about. We want to be the team that out digs the other team or just out scraps the other team. So
And it's not easy to do that against Georgia Tech.
Yeah,
Their
they-
backward defense is very good.
yeah.
Off the tracks.
Coach, you had some rotations with Bree and Dahlia playing the front row.
Yeah.
Is that why were you going with that?
Well, the truth is, we've taken Rachel out to have a more physical block at times, and can't remember if it was 2 games ago when it was, but I put Dahlia in and had her block on the right, and Bree got mad at me and told me she should block on the right. So I am listening to Bree, and that turned out to be a good move, and she had some big blocks. And what set was that? The third.
Yeah.
Building off of that, Dahlia didn't play for very long, but she had 2, maybe 3 blocks. Just what does that say about not only her efficiency, but also just her future?
Well, she's obviously got great size and good experience with the national team, and she continues to get better. And I think she has a ton of potential, and we're glad she's on our team.
Dan, this is the 4th straight year you guys are going to 5 sets at home against Georgia Tech. What is it about this rivalry, what about this matchup that just always so tense?
I probably think the team is just so sick of me, feels like I'm just trying to scare them. But I think about how tough they are all the time, and I just every time it just worked out that we played so well at their place. But every time we play them, I'm expecting something really hard.
You've been bringing Mallory in a lot as that second serving specialist. What has she done recently that you've liked from hers, or there's some sort of mismatches you've seen on other teams recently?
Yeah, she's been just in a really good groove with her serve lately, and so we've been playing her a little bit more than Dylan, but they're both ready to go whenever we need them.
I saw Kat come in at times along with Emmy at the same time with two liberos. What went to that decision? What were you trying to do?
Well, there was with the double libero you can use them interchangeably, and Kat had made a few good defensive moves, and then a couple got by Emmy, so we just tried to see if it was mostly against Otene when she had that sharp 4-4 to see if Kat could pick one up if it got by her block.
Coach, Olivia had a triple-double today, and what does that say about her? Like, maybe she didn't have the greatest hitting night, but she still had 12 digs and 10 blocks. What does that say, like, everything she can do on the floor for your team?
Well, I think you just said it, like, and I'm not trying to poke fun at you, but when you say someone had 18 kills but didn't have a good night, it's like, wow, like, it just shows how high of expectations we have for her. But it's also probably says, just compared to maybe a year ago, she's so capable of helping us in so many different areas that it doesn't need to just be offensively.
Bree and Torrey, building off of that, Olivia tends to have really big performances and really big games, and while maybe her hitting percentage wasn't great, a triple-double in a game like this is fantastic. What kind of energy does she bring in those big matches that really not only escalates her but elevates you guys as well?
That's just Liv.
Yeah.
Like, Liv loves the lights, and I mean, I think that, like, even last year against Georgia Tech, she had a really big game, but that's Liv as a player. She goes off.
Yeah, I just think technically she's always talking at the net, and like without a doubt, you'll know she'll get a kill if the ball's coming to her. So she's amazing, and I'm super proud of her.
Any last questions for Coach or student athlete?